Hi guys, welcome back. I want you guys to meet Fanny, and the name of Fanny's channel is Fanny's Journey to Happy and Healthy. And today, what Fanny is going to talk about is the fact that she woke up and realized she's the heaviest she's ever been. Has that happened to you? Has it happened to you recently? If so, please let us know in the comments.
Hey guys, so it has been a while since I have been on here. It's been a few months. I'm going to cut straight to the point, and that is that I have gained. I have regained everything that I had lost, plus 1 pound. So I am officially at my heaviest ever weight, which is 297.5 pounds. So 2.5 pounds away from 300 pounds. And I got lazy. I would literally eat like an entire bag of family-sized M&Ms like a few times a week, and I would go crazy with other candy. Like I didn't just eat like a Snickers bar, like a candy bar. I was eating like family-sized servings of candy. And I would go to bed at night just feeling sick. I'd wake up in the middle of the night feeling sick, and it wasn't just candy. I was also eating probably more fast food and more fried food. Yeah, it wasn't just from having an occasional takeout meal or an occasional slice of pizza. I was eating excessive amounts of food these past few months. There are some things that I thought I was doing okay with emotionally, and I'm not. I am still struggling and trying to find a way to heal from these things that I'm dealing with, but I'm having a hard time finding a way to cope with it in a healthy way instead of just eating tons of food, because that is how I have been coping, was with eating. But I do not want to start out 2024 at 300 pounds or over 300 pounds, because right now I will definitely be over, 300 by the new year if I don't start to take this more seriously again. I want this to be a lifestyle change. I want to eat healthy, majority of the time, and occasional treats, whatever, which I think most people want to be able to do. So I'm going to try to start doing my food diaries again, and I'm going to go back to the Lose It app and start tracking my calories. I'm going to try to get out for more walks, even though it is crazy cold out. Last night I went for a walk, and it was 8 degrees, but 8 degrees Fahrenheit. What it actually felt like outside, though, was -6 degrees Fahrenheit. So it was really cold. So I've been trying to get out more, and I just got myself a little rebounder trampoline type thing to get some more movement in, and I have a barbell so I can do a little weightlifting. And my husband actually just got us a membership to the gym, so I'm hoping that I'll get over my fear of working out in front of people. But I am basically making this video to say, or to hold myself accountable, and to say that I feel like my camera keeps going in and out of focus, or trying to do this weird zooming thing. So I apologize.
So I think what happens is the holidays come up, and before you know it, we're having candy and cookies and cakes and meals with the family, right? And it's really easy to eat 8, 9, 10 cookies rather than 3 or 4. And I've eaten bags of family size M&Ms too. I think we all have, right? But you have to be able to catch yourself. I think it would have been nicer if Fanny could have caught herself maybe at 200 pounds rather than at 300. But my thinking is better late than never. Let's get some shoes on. Let's go for a walk, Fanny. Let's see what else she has to say here.
So I am going to try to do a food diary. I want to say every day until January 1st, just to hold myself accountable, because with Christmas coming up here and New Year's, food can get pretty crazy, cookies and Christmas meals and all that stuff. But I feel like now is the time when I need to be doing this, because I don't know, I feel like otherwise I'd use it as an excuse to just continue to eat as poorly as I have been, and I can't be doing that. So it's tough to come on here and to say that. It's embarrassing, but I did it to myself. I got lazy and I just ate way too much. Way too much. So, starting tomorrow or today, I'm not sure if I'm going to have this video out tonight. It's Tuesday right now. Or if I'm going to post it in the morning and then do a food diary. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. I'm anxious. I'm so anxious, but I need to do this. When I hold myself accountable doing these videos and I actually count my calories and, you know, I'm more aware of how much water I'm drinking and walking more, obviously, I can lose weight. Like, I've done it. I got down to 275 and it was such a good feeling. And then I just sabotaged myself. So, we're going to try to... So I'm 297.5 right now, which is my heaviest ever, which I think I just said. I think I would like to be in the 280s at least come January 1st, you know. But we're going to take it step by step and day by day.
So let's think about this, because obviously the topic and the subject by itself gives her anxiety. I can tell that she's not very comfortable talking about this. I love that she gives herself realistic goals. If you're 297 and you can get down to 275 or 280, I think that's a wonderful start. The reason I wanted to share this video with you guys at home is because you need to know that you're not alone. This video here is only a couple months old, so it's something that Fanny's dealing with literally as we speak.
But yeah. Okay, anyways, that's all this video was.
Okay, that's it. Anyway, guys, grab your shoes. Let's go for a walk. Good morning, Venters. Would you believe it if I said that it's 7 in the morning? It's already 84 degrees. We have an excessive heat warning where for the next 3 days from Wednesday now, which is now till Friday, it's supposed to be in the 107 to 114 range, an excessive heat warning. How crazy is that? It just hit kind of out of nowhere. It was in the low 100s. And then all of a sudden, here we are, boom. Welcome to summer in Phoenix, Arizona. It's one of those heats where you just gotta kind of do what you gotta do. The good news is May was kind of mild for us. Usually May is when we start to hit the 108s, 109s, but for some reason, this month of May, it was like 101, 102, 99, so I think we got real lucky, but luck has been thrown out the window because now we're in June and July is going to be really hot. So we've got to get through the next 2.5 months. If we get through the next 2.5 months, usually around September, it starts to get down to the low 100s. And then hopefully by October and November, it starts to actually get cool outside again. The good news is because you, me, and all the Venters are getting up there in age, every week feels like a day or two. So in another 2 or 3 weeks, we'll be back into Christmas. By the way, if we keep walking, by the time Christmas rolls around, especially if you're doing well with your diet, you should be quite a bit smaller. So maybe for Christmas, we can ask all the family members to buy us new clothes. Yay! Guys, I heard a really inspirational story, and I thought it would be perfect for the venters because it was specifically done by a grandma who's overweight. And that was a specific part of the story that she, the person, the grandma, wanted to be said, because what she did is to inspire people that are a little bit older and a little bit overweight. So I thought it would be a perfect story to share. Yay! Tell us a story, Jesse. Okay, all right. Former college swimmer Amy Gubser. She's an overweight grandma. Again, that's part of the story. That's not me being mean. She jumped into the water at 3:27 a.m. Most of us are never awake at 3:27 a.m., right? But she jumped into the water. All right, and where did she jump in the water? She jumped in the water at 3:27 a.m. and she swam for 17 straight hours. She's the first ever human being to swim from the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge to the Farallon Islands, which is basically 29 and a half miles, basically 30 miles in frigid, shark-infested waters, great white shark-infested waters nonetheless, in other words, Jaws, right? And there's a lot of jellyfish that could sting you at any point in time as well. Now, people have swam the opposite direction from the Farallon Islands to the Golden Gate Bridge, but never this direction, thus making her the first person to do so. She had been a collegiate swimmer, yes, but she hadn't done any competitive swimming for the last 24 years. So we're talking about a grandma that probably had a swimming pool and nothing else, right? If she even had a swimming pool, because she was overweight, so who knows? So these waters are freezing cold. She could not even wear a swimsuit, but there was a reason for that. If she wears a swimsuit, swimsuits are known to rub against your skin. And for a swim that's that long, 17 hours, she feared that the swimsuit would have rubbed against her skin and caused her to bleed, which is the exact opposite thing that you want to have happen when you're swimming through shark-infested waters. To make matters worse, because of the fog, she was limited to seeing only a very few feet in front of her. So imagine the fear and the patience and calmness that you have to have, right? The fear that you have to overcome, the patience and calm that you have to maintain while you're chugging through this freezing water. You can't see 2 feet in front of you. You can't see into the water because it's 3:27 a.m., right? And even when it's light out, you probably can't see very far into the water. And to know that you're sharing this body of water with great white sharks and jellyfish, amongst other creatures of the sea, right? So she had to ditch the swimsuit. So on top of everything else, she's freezing cold, right? I just thought that was amazing. Here's another scary thing. From April, May, and June, that's when this part of the world, or these waters, experience a great white shark migration. So we're talking, she's literally swimming at the scariest time to swim, but apparently it was the best time for her, and she had to do it without a swimsuit. So I just find that amazing. She was actually stung not once, but twice by jellyfish. Is that amazing? Hey, good morning. Now, I don't know about you, but if I got stung by a jellyfish even once, I'd be like, okay, game over, time to get out of the water, right? And even if I wasn't stung by jellyfish, if I knew somebody near me was, I'd be like, okay, game over, time to get out of the water. Anyway, she hopes to inspire women and men that are of advanced age. I assume since she swam 24 years ago when she was in college, that she's probably in her late 40s, early 50s, right? Because you figure you're swimming in college between the ages of maybe 18 and 22 or 23. You add 25 years to that, she's probably around our age, 47 to 50, maybe a year or two younger, a year or two older. But that is inspirational.
I don't know about you, but if you were to see a picture of her, and maybe I'll plop a picture of her here, you'd be quite impressed. She definitely didn't look like somebody that was going to pull off a 17 straight hour swim. But that just goes to show you, some people know in their heart what they're capable of doing. I would have assumed that she would have swam into better shape and then made the swim. And for all we know, she did do a little practice sessions at pools in her area, right? But it didn't say that. It made it sound like this is kind of a swim she did out of nowhere. And right now it's pending a world record because I guess they have a little process that they do to make sure that it's considered accepted. But I have a feeling it is, otherwise it wouldn't have made the news. So, Amy Gubser, great job. Once again, her name was Amy Applehans Gubser, former college swimmer. That is inspirational, because what that tells me is that regardless of your weight, regardless of your age, there is always a point in time where you can challenge yourself. And if you challenge yourself in the right way, you might just be able to inspire people. So how do we take this to the venters? Venters, you guys might not know it, but right now, you might be inspiring your grandchildren or your children or friends and family members to join you on a walk. If they see that over the course of 3, 6, 9, 12 months, that you're able to drop 30, 40, 50 pounds, that's going to be inspirational in your family for years to come. Wouldn't it be cool if in 5 or 6 years you guys could all be eating at a restaurant for a family get-together, and they could say, do you guys remember when Grandma was bigger and she dropped all that weight? And then they'll look over to you and say, Grandma, how did you drop all that weight again? Was it just walking? And you'll be able to explain to them that, yeah, it was a whole lot of walking, and I did it because I want to be in your guys' lives for as long as possible. Grandma, can we have some cake? No! Oh my goodness. I want to live with you forever. I like my other grandma. I wonder if grandparents feel that. Do grandparents feel like, hey, I better be the nicest grandparent ever, otherwise Susie's gonna love the other grandma and grandpa more than me? I wonder if that happens. If I'm ever in competition with another grandparent, they don't have a chance, because that's one competition I'm gonna win. You hear that, Roy? I'm gonna win. Roy is my son-in-law's dad, so that's my granddaughter's other grandparent. I'm younger than you, Roy. I can walk faster and longer. Don't you ever forget that. Roy is a good guy. Treats my daughter like royalty, and that's why I like to tell people, treat your son and daughter-in-law just like your own kids. Show them love, because they are a part of your family now, you know? And you make things easier if you let them know that you're on their side. If you become one of those classical mother or father-in-laws that, you know, a person feels like you're against them, it just makes things like divorce easier, because you could say, well, not only do you marry that person, but you marry their family, and gosh, to be honest with you, their family just never made me feel accepted. You know, those are things that can make things easier for couples to split up. That's why I always tell people, you know, if you're rich and you're going to retire a millionaire, more than likely you're going to take your last breath and still have tons of money in the bank. You know, why not help your kids out, you know, while it matters, you know? And I know that a lot of times we have this tough love philosophy of, hey, you got to let people go through their trials and tribulations. Yes, I agree. But if you love your grandkids, do whatever you can do to make sure that their parents stay together. And if you can make that easier just by lending support that you're totally able to do it, you know? Sometimes we have these little arguments with ourselves in life, you know? Am I being taken advantage of? Am I doing this and am I doing that? And that goes back to what I was saying about millionaires and billionaires. You know, so many people are jealous of millionaires and billionaires, and we have this hatred for people that are super wealthy. But could you imagine being super wealthy and living in a world where you don't know if friends and family members actually care about you, or if they most likely only care about your money? Those are difficult things to deal with. Oh my God, look at these two birds here. Is that how birds make love? Oh my God. You two should be ashamed. Cochinos. Did you see them? Oh my God. I haven't seen humans make love like that in years. That looked like an adventure. Holy moly, that poor female bird had that male bird on top of her, literally supporting his weight. Or maybe that was the female bird on top saying, hey, I want to have grandbabies someday. Who knows? Who knows? What we do know is sometimes birds make love like that. I saw two little birds, very, very cute, fighting like human beings once. And I mean this, they were literally on the ground wrestling with each other. And they were so into their little wrestling match that I was able to walk within like literally 1.5 feet of them. And I literally said, are you guys gonna stop that? And they looked up to me, realized, holy shit, we're in the presence of a human being. And then they flew off. It was the weirdest thing I had ever seen with regards to birds. Could you imagine? Imagine that story I just shared with you there. Imagine you're walking. You're usually never able to get within 5-10 feet of a bird, right? But imagine you're getting literally within 1.5 feet and you have to tell the birds, are you guys gonna stop that? I've had that situation. I was also on a on a golf course once, and I had this duck come up to me and just started snuggling with my legs. I was getting ready to hit a shot out of the tee box, or from the tee box, and this duck just kind of waddled out of the water, came up and started rubbing against my legs like a cat would. I was able to pet it. A really unique situation. I also had a situation once where I was with my daughter's mom. This was this was over 30 years ago. And we were in Sun City at her grandparents' house, Sun City, Arizona. And right across the street from her house, there was like a dirt field. And we see this tiny little thing start to crawl from the dirt field to us. And we're like, what the heck is that? And no joke, it was a little tiny baby jackrabbit. And it literally came up, I bent over, and it jumped into my hands. And I lifted up, and me and my daughter's mom were like, oh my God, is this something magical or what? But it was a jackrabbit, and I didn't know how to take care of one of those things, and we didn't have the ability to take it to our apartment and take care of it. So what we did was I walked across the street and I kind of set him back in the dirt area, and then we took off because we didn't want him to follow us. I probably ended up killing that rabbit because I assume his mom was gone. But what was I supposed to do? I didn't know how to take care of a little baby jackrabbit, but literally baby jackrabbit about the size of 2 or 3 inches tall jumped into my hands. So I've had a lot of neat situations where animals will come up to me, I guess thinking I'm the crocodile hunter. They want to communicate with me. Thank God no stingrays have ever wanted to communicate with me. I don't think I would do well in the ocean. Every time I'm at the ocean, I'm like, this thing smells really salty. Have you ever noticed that when you go to the ocean? You can smell the salt from, a couple 100 feet away or whatever, maybe even halfway, maybe even a mile away. You can start to smell the water of the ocean. Very, very salty. And when you go in there, there's so many people that take pictures of them surfing. Have you ever seen pictures of people surfing, guys? And they'll show a close-up of the picture and you'll see like a shark underneath them, and it's like, oh hell no. Oh my God. The idea of being in a water in waters with a shark of any kind, even if it's a small little shark, that just freaks me out. Don't get me wrong, if I was in the ocean and we were out on a boat, I would get out of the boat and into the water just like everybody else. But everybody else would be enjoying themselves, and I would be waiting to see people dunk under the water with a pool of blood. That's what I would be waiting for, and I'd be like, okay, hopefully I'm not the first one. I would be freaked out. I don't even think I would enjoy that. What are your guys' thoughts? Could you jump into the ocean? And you probably have. I think we've all been in the ocean before. But could you jump in the ocean knowing that there's sharks in the waters? And then she gets stung twice. I always was under the impression that when you get stung by a jellyfish, you're in pretty miserable pain. I always thought that that's when swimming would be impossible. For her to be stung once and then to swim on and get stung again and to keep going, it's like, oh my God, Grandma loves punishment. Holy moly. So anyway, that is inspirational. There are things that we can do as we get older. We can push ourselves. If you're a former high school or college athlete, which I'm sure some of you are, and you know that you're capable of doing extraordinary things, I hope you take our little walking challenge, and I hope you walk yourself right back up into competitive mode, and I hope you kick butt, and I know you will. So again, if you're an athlete of any kind, or maybe you were a wannabe athlete and always wanted to be there, I say it's never too late. Let's get you back into a athletic shape and let's see what you are capable of. Kate, you said the other day, Kate Dean, our United Kingdom viewer, Kate, you said the other day that your husband was starting to come around and he even went on a walk with you. And I believe you are getting married in the upcoming months. I think you're getting married, Kate. I think you and Lily, I think a couple of people are getting married. Anyway, I have to double check that. Don't quote me on anybody. I'm not forcing you to get married. But the point is, you've got some special situations coming up. I want you to be able to hit your weight goals. So congratulations on your upcoming wedding. I'm just going to say it. I think you're getting married. And if you're not, now you are. For people that like being signaled, they're like, no, don't wish that on me. But that's a good reason to lose weight, I think. If you want to fit in that wedding dress, if you want to take a special picture with friends and family, which you would do, of course, during a wedding, that's one of those things where I think it's a darn good reason to want to lose 20, 30, 40 pounds. And we're going to all do it together. And then when you go to your wedding, we're going to all sneak up and be there. No. God, just flying to the United Kingdom over that big stretch of water, over the Atlantic, God, that sounds scary as heck to me. I've had family members that have flown all around the world. And I asked them, what's it like flying over the water? Isn't that a little scary and freaky? And they're like, no, I didn't even notice. I slept through it. It's like, yeah, that's probably the best way. That's probably the best way to do it. Guys, we're on walking day 81. There are 9 days left. What is going through your mind? Is this the first challenge that you've done in a while? Is this the first challenge that you've done ever as an adult? If so, let me know. Is this the first challenge that maybe you've been from start to finish where you're actually going to finish this? Sometimes we have a situation in life, and I had this about 10, 15 years ago, where I started a lot of different things. Not necessarily competition, just a lot of things in life. I wanted to get a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Now you might be thinking, oh my God, does Jesse know Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? No, you have to start as a white belt. And I remember I went to about 2 or 3 months of classes and then I just kind of gave up on it. And that was in my mid-20s, right? And then I wanted to do insurance. So I went and got licensed for insurance, but then for whatever reason, I just kind of went back to a different job and just kind of forgot about it. That's still an option for the future, I suppose. I always tell myself, well, I could always sell insurance, worst case scenario, right? But that might even be more challenging now than ever. Sometimes things get tougher as we get older. But either way, the point that I'm making is a lot of us start challenges or start goals, and then we never see them to fruition. Guys, this might be one of the few challenges that you might see not only through fruition, but you might be able to keep this up for the rest of your life as long as you keep trying to use your walk to better yourself. And what I mean by that is, if you just walk for the sake of walking, there might be a day where you decide, I don't want to walk anymore. But if you walk and give it credit for the weight that you're losing, for the ability to stay at the current weight that you are, and if you also use it for its think tank properties, right? That when you're walking, you can actually think about solutions to your problems, then all of a sudden walking becomes something that you just want to do. And whenever there's something that you want to do, it becomes that much easier in life. So I'm just a firm believer, guys, that if you're into your walking challenge for 2, going on 3, maybe even 4 months, I think there is a piece of you that sees your walk as part of your daily routine now. And the key is, how can we ingrain it and make it where it's not just for 2 or 3 months, but forever? That's the next challenge. So the way to make that happen is you have to ask yourself a question. Do I want to keep doing this? Is this enjoyable? If it honestly isn't enjoyable for you, you might have to find something more enjoyable. You know, whether that be swimming, whether that be doing ballroom dancing with your partner, whatever the case might be, you might not be the person made for walking. But if you've been doing it for 2 or 3 months and you're already starting to lose weight, and you've been using it to really get your ideas stimulated while you're walking, right? And getting problems solved whenever a problem comes up in your life, you know, hopefully you don't want to ever quit. So I'm one of these guys that, whether I'm holding a camera or not, or whether you guys lose weight or not, this is my game plan. And I think that's what makes weight loss possible and doable. You gotta have a game plan. Look at this guy's like electronic skating board. That's kind of cool, huh? God, that would make skating fun. Hey mom, can you help me buy a car? No, but here's your skateboard. Yay! I mean, I don't know if it would look good to have somebody my age on that, but if you're in your early 20s and you have to get to a job that's 1 or 2 miles away, heck yeah, hop on your skateboard. The skateboard that skates for you. That's God. In Arizona, I go to bed and I wake up and it is so dry, and I feel like I haven't drinking water in a week and a half, even though I just drank a couple hours earlier before I went to bed. This state can just dry you out like crazy. If you've ever been to Arizona or lived in Arizona or experienced the heat of Arizona or Las Vegas, you know exactly what I mean. There's not a drop of moisture in the sky. It is so dry, which I'm thankful for. You guys know as well as I do, the humidity can be miserable. But anyway, guys, check this out. We've got 9 days left. I know that in most of your cases, you guys started a week or 2 after me. So remember, don't sell yourself short. Finish up your 90 days. It is okay for you and I not to be on the same exact day. We even have a couple of our venters, GL and Lily, that are actually a couple weeks ahead of me because they were starting their walking routine technically before I started the channel. They still use the channel to help keep them motivated and inspired, so that makes me feel like we're doing something positive for GL and Lily. And then for the rest of us that are a couple weeks behind, do your 90 days and then let's jump right back into the second 90-day challenge. Let's simply convert this to a 180-day challenge. If you're with me, let me know in the comments. We are gonna do amazing, amazing things. If you're brand new and you've watched a show or two, we actually do walk. We don't just look at other people dieting, we actually try to take part. And we would love for you to walk with us. if you are walking and you're on your first or second day, don't try to walk the fastest that you can. Don't try to power your way through a 1 or 2 hour walk. Just start with a little 20 or 30-minute walk. And then what we'll do is we'll just try to get it where you're walking every day, and then we can up that. So, you're walking a little bit further, and as you go, you'll naturally start walking a little bit faster. And before you know it, you'll have 90 days under your belt as well. As we go into the second tour of duty, so to speak, the second challenge, I want people that have gone through their first 90 days, as you go into your second period of 90 days, let people know, hey, today I finished my 90-day challenge. Let us know in the comments. So even though I'll be finishing in 9 days, I expect that a lot of you guys in a couple of days after that, let us know, hey, I officially finished my challenge. Here's a good sign. You might not think it's a good sign, but it is. If you're enjoying your walk and you know that you started somewhere around 2 months ago, but you don't know the exact day and you don't really care about the exact day, I consider that to be an excellent sign, guys. Because what that tells me is that you guys are in it for the walk. You're not in it necessarily for keeping tabs on, how many days you've been walking. And the reality is, if you know that you've been walking for a couple months, but you don't really care if it's day 70 or day 80 or whatever, good for you. That is the key right there. But at the same time, if you do remember the exact day, let us know. Hey, I'm no longer in my 90-day challenge. I'm now in the second 90-day challenge. Yay! Let us know and we'll celebrate it. I'll try to let people know here by putting your name up. I appreciate you guys walking with me. I actually can feel your presence. I always feel like Mala's right here, and Sheila and Sherry Ann are right here, and Lily's up here in Canada, right? Kate's down here in the UK, or probably up here in the UK, right? That's how I feel. I feel like you guys are walking with me. We have a gentleman named Ken Wang, I think. Ken Wang or Ken Wong, but Ken, you are a trooper. You're always talking about your diet and your exercise and your lifting weights and stuff. Thank you for walking with the Venters. Dare I say, thank you for being one of our Venters, right? Stay with us. I think Ken does more along the lines of actual bodybuilding and lifting, which again, that is awesome. Ken, make sure you keep drinking your water and avoid the sugars and kick butt like you've been doing. We're really appreciative that you're here. And what's amazing is sometimes Ken will disagree with one of the videos that we watch or whatever. I love it when people disagree. We don't have to all be a part of the chorus, right? Sometimes you got to be the squeaky wheel. So people can say, what's going on? And you can say, hey, I feel this way about such and such person's diet. I feel this way about their exercise routine. I've tried their way. It didn't work for me. Let us know those things in the comments. Sometimes we hear diets and other people's plans and we think, ooh, that sounds perfect. Other times we think, ooh, that sounds perfect for them. You got to remember, everybody's different. Your game plan might not include walking. You might be one of these people that, hey, I have a swimming pool. I want to swim. Well, heck, swim every day then. And if you get a cramp, learn how to bounce off the bottom of the pool. We don't want you drinking pool water because you get a cramp, Make sure you do things in a safe way. Make sure you stay very hydrated, because the walk this time of year, guys, it's different. The walk this time of year is so different than other times of the year. You can literally not realize how dehydrated you're getting. So the first thing I'm going to do when I go inside, I'm going to guzzle a bottle of water, and I recommend you guys do the same. Anyway, I love that we're going into this last power week. Let's finish strong. And again, if you're not quite to your finish point, pretend like I didn't say that. Keep going. And you have a wonderful, wonderful day. We will talk soon.